Hi everyone, Artie Tambarambaa, also known as Tammy Porter, here with you today sharing this cute little art journal with two little dressed up cats using the new Art by Marlene release. So I'll take you through what I have used. I've used the Perfect Size Journal. I've also used the quotes from the Golden Oldie book. I've used both of the Collage paper sheets. I've used lots of stuff from the Golden Oldie New Collector's book. I've used gel medium, the white gesso. I used this stencil, which is probably my favourite from last year's Advent. I used a variety of brushes and the silicone spatula for the gel medium, a couple of markers, of course the sticky glue, and lots of paint. So I've got white, which is lace, happy, yellow, glow, neon green, smurf, which is blue, and azure, which is deep aqua. And then I've also got ballet and funky, which is the neon pink, and royal and fuchsia. Okay, so let's just get started. So I basically began by flipping through that amazing Golden Oldie book, and I found that little cat, and it's like a double head because it's a tab that you can enclose on itself and use as a tab in your journal. But I just thought, oh, well, I'll cut it apart and make two cats from it. And then I was thinking about cats, and then I saw that green and I thought that's a bit like grass. And then there was a floral headdress, sort of floral piece for the head, you know, that you'd probably normally use for little people, but I wanted to dress my cats up, so I thought that would be perfect. And then there's also a little party hat for the other one. And then I thought, well, I'll cut out a dress for them each. And so this is where I grabbed the collage paper. And I basically chose that first dress fabric just because it was exactly the colours in the headdress. I had no idea what colours I was going to use at this point. And then I just selected, I'd used this paper in a recent video and I had a little bit left. So I thought I'll do a little bit of a different dress. Originally I was going to try and do a coat and some pants, but ended up I actually didn't do that because I found those little feet that are loose in the Golden Oldie book as well, and I thought, oh, I put the little, I love the stripy black and white stripy tights, I will put that on my little cats. And then I found a butterfly. I just kept flipping through the book and finding all sorts of things. So the little butterfly cut in half, so there'll be little wings. So it's just a fun, whimsical page. I'm a real cat lover. I adore cats, and I've got two of my own who are a big part of my day. And, you know, nothing better than when I get home from work and they greet me and climb on my lap, and yeah, very nice. Anyway, so these cats are being celebrated with putting some clothes on them and sort of making a bit quirky and fun. Okay, so I started just with the background. So I just thought I'll start with yellow, which is often what I do when I don't know what colours to use, because yellow is the one that gets covered up the most. It's quite transparent, so it's very hard to layer on top of other colours. So I put a fair bit of yellow down, and then I added azure, but I added a fair bit of gesso with it, just so I got some variance in the shade of teal. So I've got some deeper parts and I've got some quite lighter bits as well. And then just to cover up where the colours met, because when yellow and aqua meet, blue, they will make green. So because it always does look a bit dodgy where the colours meet, I enhanced that green by coming in with some glow, which is the neon green, and just adding that to where they meet. And then I grabbed out this awesome stencil. So I wanted to show you how just layering this stencil, these circles over and over and over, ends up giving you a lovely sort of confetti kind of, I don't know what that's called, booker, I don't know what it is, but it's that sort of light, sort of circular lights and confetti kind of feel. So really I've just come in with a bit of the azure, the teal ones, and a bit of fuchsia, which is a purple. And I've just done a little bit, and I'm sort of concentrating on the top right and the bottom left corner. I do go a bit crazy and get carried away with it, but I'm trying to leave almost through that centre a bit blank, because I was thinking, oh, I want to add a quote to the side of the cats, and so I wanted to leave that spot a little bit. Speaking of cats, I don't know if you heard that. My cat obviously heard me talking about him, and he's just come in to say hi. The other one's already asleep on my desk. Okay, anyway, back to what I'm doing. Then I grabbed the fuchsia and added some, just using my finger, added a little bit to a few of the edges, and as well as then removing some of that through the stencil by using a wipe, I've actually also used the same colour and a sponge, one of the artist sponges, to just sponge it through as well. So you're sort of you're using the stencil in both ways. So using it as the reverse technique, and you're using it to sponge through. And if you just kind of repeat this process and concentrate on particular areas and use 3 or 4 different colours, you will end up with this lovely little looking confetti feel. I do work on this a bit more again, but you can already feel how that is starting to show that look. So it's a really nice stencil, because that's all I really used for the background, just paint and that stencil, just repeated it. So at this point I decided I had taken away most of the lightness that I wanted, so I added it back in by adding a bit of gesso, white gesso that Marlene now has, and I've kind of put a section where I thought my quote would probably go, and then I've also sponged white through that same stencil, just to spreading it out as though it's going out towards those deeper colours around the edge. And then I just started to build up the layers. I just kept going with doing a little bit of sponging, and I don't worry too much. Sometimes I've got quite a bit of paint on my sponge, but sometimes I've hardly got any, and that way you get that variance as well, and that layered look. So every now and then I'm popping my little cats back down on the page and working out where they're going to go. I have cut off the bottom. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realise when I was videoing that you couldn't see the bottom of the page. But basically I had a rainbow scallop there, and I end up not using that. And I do use that green sort of stripy one because it looks a bit like grass. And then I just basically come in with the collage paper that I'd torn out earlier, and I just tear little sections off. So there's a little bit of aqua spot, and there's some stripes in there going the other way to what is already on there. So just a little bit of layering. So I tear along edges and I just build up a little bit along the bottom. It's hard to see. Hopefully when I get to the photos at the end you'll be able to see that. And you can see that I wanted to just bring my aqua down a little bit into that white space I created, but I put it right in the middle, and I thought no, don't go back there, you only want it to come down. So I just removed it. If you work quick enough and with a damp baby wipe, you can just, if you make a mistake like that, you can just take it off. So then I repeated it with just the aqua not quite as far in, concentrated a little bit for that part. Okay, so now I glued down the grass, and I'm kind of trying to work out where to add my cats. So the best way to do it was to add the feet first onto the grass. So glue those down and then basically work upwards. So just putting gel medium on the background and also wiping it over the top just to seal it all. And at this point I've done one, and I put the little headdress on her, and I did trim down that dress a little bit because I ended up deciding it wasn't a coat, it was a dress after all. And then just gluing those wings on. I actually don't think I stick them on very straight, so you might be able to do, if you're reproducing something like this, you might be able to do a better job. I'm not very good at, I've been doing, how long have I been creating for, and I still can't stick quotes on straight. Yeah, anyway, that's okay, we just go with it. And then I'm hunting for a few more things to put with my quirky little cats, and it's at this point that I see a little light globe with a fish in it, and I was thinking, oh, the cats might be thinking, oh, it would be a good idea to have a pet fish, and that may well be what they're thinking, but I decided to also give the fish a little party hat as well. So I don't think I do that yet, but I do that at some point. So I've added that little light globe, sort of fish tank light bulb towards the top of the page, and then I'm just trimming off the overhang of the grass. I just turned it over to do that. And now I'm coming in with black pen, and I've also found a little cute bird, and I simply put him on the page because his colours were all the colours that I had used. So I popped him down, but I did cut his legs off, and I drew them back in just with a black pen afterwards. And now I'm just going around the edge of the dresses. I added some scallops to the neckline of the dresses, and I'm just adding a few little bits and pieces with the markers in. I think I'll do some mark making on the dress, colour in those scallops. Yeah, so just having a bit of fun with the markers. And then I also come in with the green markers and create some extra grass. And I did start with putting the flowers on with my markers, just dots, but you couldn't actually see them very well. So I do go over those with the neon paint straight from the tube. They come out in perfect little dots. So yeah, that's always stands out a bit more. So now I found a quote, and it is, "Being stinking cute is my superpower," which is very appropriate for this page. I like how the cats look like they're going off to a party with their headpiece and their party hat, and that goes really well with that sort of confetti look in the background that I have. So then I think, well, the little birdie, he needs a crown because he's parting as well. So I put a little crown on him. I love that in the collector's book. There's so many bits and pieces that you can just add in to your, whimsical art world and make it a lot of fun. So this is where I'm adding, oh, hi, Ziggy's back again. I'm adding the little party hat to my fish. And at this point, I was going to get the pen and do a border all the way around, but I did the top and I thought, oh, hang on a minute, that kind of looks like string that the fish bowl is hanging from. So that sort of gave me an idea that maybe I need to add a few more things up there. So of course, I'm hunting around, trying out a few bits and pieces, and I find a couple of lanterns. So I think, oh yes, I'll add those on. I kind of wish I'd hung the fish bowl lower, quite a bit lower down near the party hat. But anyway, it's on and it's done. And I also found those gorgeous glasses that look awesome on that cat. So I stuck those on as well. So I love that about Marlene's products, is they're just fun. There's a lot of imagination you can have with them. That it suits, it doesn't have to be perfect because you are creating a whimsical world, so it doesn't have to be real. It can just be a lot of fun. So now I'm coming in with, I just used a Stabilo oil. I actually did a bit too much, so I'm rubbing some off with a baby wipe, but I'm just doing a little bit of shadowing around some of the dresses and around the lamps, just to make them sit forward a bit up off of that background. But I guess you can now really see how that background looks like it's sort of coming forward with the confetti, and I like how the different colours and the different layers do that. So I think the only thing I did off screen that you don't see is I added a little bit of the funky paint to the dresses just to vibrant it up a bit, and added the little dots to the flowers. So you're getting to see all the close-ups now, but they're super cute, these little cats. I love how this page came together, as I had no idea what I was doing. So thanks for sticking with me, and as always, I really love hearing from you.